right, so the last 2 weeks we have been going over graphing. We've talked about surveying, taking surveys, and that's where we ask our questions so that we can get our information for our graph. We have talked about picture graphs, which we use pictures like we have here to make a graph. We've talked about real object graphs where we can take actual items. So just like you did in some of your pictures you sent me where you put, 7 pieces of paper right here in one column, and then you put 5 crayons in this column and 2 pencils in this column. So you made a real object graph. You put all of your items in each column. We made a bar graph yesterday where we had our categories, which were our pictures on the bottom, and then you just had a bar or you colored in squares to show your results or your data. Remember, we get our data from our surveys. So we've learned a lot of things about graphing. Well, now we're going to talk about what we use graphing for. So we've made all these graphs, but what do you use them for? What's the point of making a graph? All right, so I have a graph here that I've already made. This graph was made to find out our favorite colors. So this was, a survey was taken for a class on their favorite colors. Remember, the survey is taken to ask questions about, this specific thing is about favorite colors, the students' favorite colors. So we have down here our categories, our colors. So we have pink, blue, and green. And on this side, this is our, this is where our numbers need to go. So I want us to count together how many we have. What is the most amount we have? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, so now that we have this, what do we do with it? Well, we can ask questions to find out more about the survey. So my first question is, which has the least? So we know that we took a survey on colors, and we want to know which color got the smallest amount of votes. Which color has the least? So if we look at our graph, I want you to look at our graph. Which one has the least? How can you tell which one has the least? Remember, the least is the smallest amount. So if I'm looking at my colors, I see that blue is way up here, and green is down here, and then the pink is right here in the middle. So if I was wondering which one had the smallest amount, then my eyes would go straight to the green. So if we look across, they all have a match, and they all have a match up until this point. But green does not go any farther. So green would be the least because it does not have a match to go with the pink and the blue right here. So our answer to which has the least, which color has the least, would be green. So I'm going to write over here the word green. Some of you might have worked on that word last week, actually a couple of days ago, in one of our reading lessons. Green, it has the least. Our next question is, which has the most? Which color? Remember, our graph is all about our favorite colors. So which has the most? So which color has the most? Well, just like we did with the green, we can see that they have a set, then they have a set, and then we come up here and there's no more green. So we know it can't be the green. So we're just looking between the pink and the blue now. So pink and blue, pink and blue. But we come up here and there's no more pink. There's just blue. And we have two more blues than pink. So I can also just look at my graph and I can see that blue goes a lot higher than pink does. So when the question asks which has the most, which color has the most, we can look at our graph and we can see that blue has the most. So I'm going to write that color down for our answer. Blue has the most. Blue has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 votes. Pink only had 1, 2, 3, 4. So pink has 2 less than blue. And our last question, how can I tell how many people voted? So if I wanted to know the total number of votes for the colors, that would be like how many students were in the class who voted. What I could do is I could go back and I can count each one of these to get the total number. So I can go back and I can count 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pinks. But I want to keep counting because I want to know how many all together. So that was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm going to keep counting. I'm going to count on. So that was 10, 11, 12. 12 all together. There's 12 total. So that means 12 people voted in this survey. So I'm going to write the number 12. So that is how we use our graphs to answer questions and find out information. Hope you had fun graphing with me.